Alright, it's Chandra. I'm here with my thoroughbred gelding Rhett, and I'm going to do some of the high intensity desensitizing. So it's just the second level, it's in the advanced groundwork. And so I'm going to do desensitizing to his face, and then above him, and then behind him. So the first one that you're going to do is on his face. So I'm just going to move him a little bit. Back up. There we go. Okay. So you can do this at liberty or you can do it in a halter. It kind of just depends on what you want to do. So the first one is just desensitizing to his face. So I'm just going to kind of move my hands are down. He's not too worried. So the idea is to just keep going until they don't flinch anymore. So he's not flinching. And I would start light, like just kind of swinging. He's going to move his head away. I'm going to kind of follow him. Got it. Okay, so he's going to bring it back. And then I'll just increase the intensity. Probably just thinks I'm a weirdo. And it's fine if he's blinking. The blinking's probably not going to go away. So I'm just going to reward him for being good. So the positive reinforcement is important because it doesn't only reward the behavior, it rewards the state of mind or the attitude and the emotion behind it. So he was being nice and relaxed, so I'm going to reward that and say, yes, that's what I want. I'm not even blinking that time. I'm going to do both. I'm going to hit him in the face. Just kind of something like that. So I just kind of start by just kind of doing this kind of thing. And then when he starts to bring his head back, I just release. So I'm going to start on one side, kind of a low intensity, and I'll stop when he stops flinching. And then I'll do it on the same thing on the other side, so he's kind of flinching away. There, he stopped moving his head, so I'll stop. I'll do both sides. He's flinching a little bit, so I'm going to wait. There, he stopped. And he's not too concerned. So then I'll just increase the intensity a little bit. There, and he stopped moving, so I'm going to stop. He doesn't care too much. Perfect. So that's what you want it to look like. He's not real bothered. Most horses aren't going to be like that, but since you did all the other groundwork, it's going to build on that. And then if you're at all concerned, like he's pretty advanced, he knows to kind of stay with me, and he's not super worried about a whole lot of stuff. So I feel like he's fine to be at liberty. If you have any doubts, to go ahead, put a halter and lead rope on him. And then if they go to leave, make sure it's a nice long one. You want at least 12 feet. So if they decide they want to leave, that's fine. Don't grab on their head, just let them go out and then just canter for a few minutes. Be like, okay, well, he scared you, you can run away, that's fine, but you're gonna have to work. And then after that few minutes is over, you just bring them back in and continue doing what you were doing. So move on to the next one. I'm just gonna use my lunge whip because the lash is a bit longer, and I'm just gonna desensitize him from the air above him. So it helps if you hit the ground on one side and then come up over them on the other side. He was a little tense there. He was kind of flinching his body in the beginning. So I'm just going to wait till he blinks. There. So it's easier than just kind of holding it and like doing this. That's kind of hard to do. And you have more of a chance of smacking them in the head. So you don't want to do that. If you do smack it, just act like it never happened. You just want to just like accidentally smack it. That's all right. Just kind of keep going like it never happened, and then they'll be like, oh, it's okay. Because if you're like, oh no, if you stop, like you accidentally smack him in the head and he raises his head and gets scared and he stopped, then you're rewarding him for that behavior, so you don't want to do that. So even though I feel bad, you don't need to smack him in the head. So I'm going to increase the pressure a little bit. He's nice and relaxed. He's better than he was the first time. I'm going to wait for that. There we go. Blinked his eye. I'm going to stop. So that was really good. And then you just can increase the pressure kind of how much ever you want, as long as you know your horse can tolerate it. This is about as high as a pressure that I need to do. I don't rope. I don't do any of those things. So it does help you when you're up there. Obviously you spend a lot of time on their backs. There, he stopped and blinked, so I'll stop. But if you're going to do some of those things, I would do a little bit more. And I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. Same process. I'm just not going to show it because I would just be repeating myself. But you want to make sure you do it on both sides, even though it is above him. And then the last lesson is going to be behind him. So in the previous lesson, you did the start out here, work your way all the way back. He thinks he's supposed to move his hindquarters, and then come up here, work your way back, come here, work your way back, come here, work your way back. So now I'm just going to be a little bit further back, and lots of horses just get scared when things are behind them. So I'm just going to wait for him. He thinks he's supposed to yield his hindquarters, so I'm just going to wait. I'm going to keep my feet moving, and I'm just going to keep the intensity until he stands still. So I'm not using high intensity. There. So I'm going to stop, and I'm going to reward him because I want him to make sure that was the behavior I wanted. So I think he was just a little confused, not so much scared. So I'm going to start again up here. I want to stay nice and safe first. Make sure you stay up by their shoulder. So you want to watch the whole body, make sure it's not tense, but also watch his face because I want to wait till he blinks. So it's kind of watching the hindquarters so you don't smack him, and watching the face, but he's not super worried here. So I'm going to wait. There, he relaxed, so I'm going to relax. Okay, so I'm going to get a little closer. See, he's thinking when I go back there he needs to yield his hindquarters. So I'm just going to wait, same intensity. There. And just giving them that little reward is really going to help them through the desensitizing. Let him chew on that. Move up. It's the moving up there. Good. I'm going to reward him for that because he didn't move. He went to move and then he thought, oh, maybe not. And that's what I want. But you want to keep a nice distance. Make sure they can't kick you. Pay attention to the body language. If you feel like you're in danger, I'll put a halter on. Get him to move out of your space. But you always want to make sure that you have enough space between you and the hind end. There. So he blinked his eye, lowered his head. Perfect. So I'm just going to... Good. And some horses this is really, really difficult for. Rain, she's really a struggle with that. But it's the both of you being behind them and the pressure behind them that kind of freaks them out. So I did leave the mounting block in here, but you want to make sure it doesn't make a bunch of noise on something else. If it hits that, it's going to make a different noise and it could scare them. So I'm going to wait for him to relax here. And a whole eye blink, not a half a one. Still waiting. And I'm just doing this on like a low to medium energy. He's not super spooky, so he doesn't need a super light energy. Wait on him. That's not a whole eye blink. It's just kind of a half one. Still kind of a half one. Want a whole one, make sure he's thinking. There. Good. All right. Very good boy. And then again, same exercise on the other side, but I'm not going to do it. It's the same exact thing. But if you do put a halter on, make sure you have enough space and you're not getting it really low on the ground and getting it caught on their legs or anything like that. But some people like to stand really close and then desensitize right behind them. I like kind of do the opposite because now the scary thing is behind them instead of me, because I don't really want to get kicked. So, and that was just kind of a low to medium intensity. You can increase that. Arm's a bit tired, but you can increase as you go and like really smack the ground and do all that. So it just helps to like, once you're out doing stuff, they're going to be a lot less spooky and have a lot more confidence because you've trained in that relaxation.